careless of Leandra to enter her only sister into a barren tundra of eternity. Come now, Source Hunter, is that the masquerade? Well, what a motley crew we are. Isn't there somewhere a bit warmer we might discuss matters? Okay, let's just see here. What do you mean masquerade? Oh, yes, of course, do pardon me. I didn't mean to imply that you were very clearly eternal beings in the disguise of minor mortals. Not at all. Please, let's carry on. Okay, why did you become a prisoner here? First things first. For my freedom, I owe you every imaginable thanks. My soul had withered into this barren prison, and I might not have survived much longer without your help. I must say,
I don't think she's crying.
That a Source Hunter was the last hero I expected to find before me at this moment of liberation.
This is an ultimate powerful being. I don't think she's going to be tearful.
She's tearful.
Okay.
Sorry, she's tearful. She's got menopause.
Oh, wow.
But what were you asking again? Yes, this horrid winter affair, the corrupted king, Boreas, of all the ghastly brutes to face. I'll tell you now. When I realized exactly where and to whom my sister was consigning me, I was certain I'd never enjoy the sun's warmth again. But neither she nor I anticipated the Source Hunter. That was her mistake, and my blessing. Oh, I think you're very cute. No, she doesn't say that. Well,
she's speaking to you, so I hope not. She's that way inclined.
Shit. Okay, I better run. Okay, well, I hope I haven't disappointed my own hero. Am I just as white and witchy as you'd hoped?
No. That's funny.
Yes. You stand accused of murdering the Sicilian High Counselor, Jake. Oh, yes, a terrible business that. I'm afraid we quite ruined that poor innkeeper's room, didn't we?
Who cares about the room?
Yeah. When all the hullabaloo's been settled, I'll have to provide him with proper recompense for all the fire and brimstone we brought into his establishment.
He's a zombie now.
Are you the White Witch? Oh, yes, I suppose I am. But I do prefer my given name, Ikara. That is, charmed to meet you. Okay, tell me more about your sister, my own little sister, if you can imagine it after all she's done. She was always the more ambitious, the more exacting, and she had no fear of darkness, and so often accompanies Source.
Okay.
Her collision with King Boreas is confining me here.
Collusion.
Oh, what did I say?
Collision.
Her collusion.
She's colluding with him.
She's colluding with King Boreas in confining me here. Confirms my worst fears. She has become involved. She's having an affair.
What?
Oh, no, sorry. She's become involved in affairs beyond her usual manipulations. She is planning
Days of our lives rather than a video game.
far greater than I had ever anticipated. Until now, I consider my own supervision sufficient to curb the worst of her. But I fear her reach has extended beyond my own. For this reason, and with a very heavy heart, I ask you, Source Hunter, to find out how far exactly Leandra has become entwined in the dark arts.
I think she's pretty far up there with all those death knights and stuff.
Yeah, with Jake's. Tell me what happened the night Jake got murdered. It's a sordid story, to be perfectly frank. 2 sisters, a philanderous, treacherous, wizarding fool, death and mayhem. And you're sure not interested in such things. The sparkle in your eye belies your better nature, Source Hunter. Now I know that it is your duty to get to the heart of this, and in truth the events of that night were but one part of the large and much darker matter. A matter in which I dare to beg your assistance before we're through with one another.
Interesting.
Now, that dreadful night, it starts with 2 sisters, myself and Leandra.
Having a threesome or something.
We share a certain bond, a bond of no small import. Our very souls are forged together, so that neither of us will survive the other's death.
Shit, so we kill her, we kill this one too, shame.
Not shame.
Oh.
Just sort it out.
It's quite ironic actually, it's like the white and the black witch almost.
Yeah, it's like, who we
Yin
are,
yang.
hey? Yeah, yin yang. This particular bond also gives us certain occasional windows into each other's doings, feelings, and senses. One night as I dreamt, I had a sudden revelation, clear as day. No dream, but a vision. Leandra, my own sister, was engaged in a carnal embrace with my own paramour. That treacherous wizarding fool I mentioned. My heart broke only after I was already halfway
she's so teary, eh? Jeez.
to the Sicilian inn where I'd found them. And then I got angry. I was determined to catch them in the act.
I think she needs to see psychiatric help.
Yeah. But when I arrived at the King Crab, everything went wrong.
King Crab.
Leandra had fled. The counsellor Jack stood over the wizard, a knife in both hands, preparing to plunge dagger into the heart of he who'd broken mine. I couldn't stop him in time. He drove the knife downward with all his strength, and the wizard's blood spilled forth.
So
I had no choice. Yeah. I couldn't watch him die. So I used the power I've long forsworn, source, and sacrificed the counselor to save him. His life spared the one he'd intended to take. I woke the wizard and we fled before we were seen.
So Jake's actually a bastard. Okay.
Yeah. He's a bad bastard. If you
Deserves to be a zombie.
Exactly. If you were any other source hunter, I suppose you'd strike me down where I stand after that terrible admission. Fortunately for us both, you are no other source hunter. I hate to extend my own invitation, source hunter, but I believe I ought to accompany you to Zigzag's hideout. God, my tongue.
Zigzag's, yeah.
Oh, do forgive me for presuming, but I'd recognize the imp's essence just about anywhere.
He's the guy in our little realm, yeah.
Yes. Both he and you must learn more about the darkness that has extended itself into the dearest Rivalon, and I believe I know where we must begin. Oh, but unless that's a bear flailing through the threads of time, I do believe Master Zigzags is on his way. Make way, Source Hunter. Landing in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, Zigzags. Hunters, you've done it. Ikora is free. What good it does my impish heart to see her safe and bright as ever.
Oh.
We have much to discuss. Come one and come to the end of time. A spot of something warm and soft glow of the tapestry ought to do us a bit of good,
Yes.
I'll take my leave. You've exited the dual dialogue. Okay, there we go. Oops. I had the window view listening together open.
Okay.
After you.
We have much to discuss. Yes. Oh, okay.
You got an exclamation point above your head. Oh yeah, this is where we debate things. We've solved the murder and caught the culprit, yet this case feels anything but closed. Which killed the counselor, murder is murder, and that is all there is to it. There's more to this crime than the simple fact of killing. The killer is hardly the same as killing an innocent after all. Yeah, probably that one. What's your choice?
Okay. Who was she to rank the life of the wizard over that of Jake? This is cut and dry murder, I say. Or we'll have to learn more before we can assess Ikora's true guilt in the matter. Fortunately, she seems quite eager to tell us more about the affair. The second one?
Maybe. Up to you. It's your character. Cool. Or romantic plus one. No, we are both romanced.
It was silly romancing. Hey.
Love this stuff.
What are you doing?
Just wanted to see if it was suitable. Okay, shall we go off to the end of time then, or is there something else you wanted to do?
No, we've got to go to the end of time.
Okay, so we just click a little rift travel thing on the right there. Oh yeah, we can warp anywhere from there. Fuck, I forgot about that.
Where? I don't know what you're saying.
Never mind. We need to go to the end of time.
Where's my rifting? Oh, there, rift travel.
Should have asked you. Do you want to go to the end of time?
No, it didn't.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but I am coming. I'm going there in any case.
Good. Yeah, so you don't actually need to find a portal to teleport. You just click that thing. I forgot. Could have got around much easier.
Yes. Oh, at least the YouTubers can laugh at us.
Yeah, they're like, wow.
Okay,
They went
now
from
I've got a map thing.
a map thing.
Yeah, end of time I'm going. Yes?
Aren't we here already?
Okay, but it brought up a map on mine.
Maybe you clicked it after I've sent us here.
Yes. You should not be clicking so much.
See what else Zigzags has to say.
Snowstorm might need a little bit of healing if you've got.
Yeah, that little sliver. Are you worried about that teeny little bit?
Yes, I am, because there could be big shit coming.
Think so, hey?
I don't know.
Fire, brimstone, ash and chaos. While the demon rages on in Lakula North, our simple shelter plane will be brought to simple ruin.
Oh dear.
Where is he? Shelter, Lakula North.
Lakula
Okay,
North.
so we need to do something about Lakula North.
Okay.
What more can you tell me about Akara? Quite a card, isn't she? Never know whether that one's going to offer a striking commentary on the efforts to record the greatest dwarven wars, or a potion meant to turn my tongue blue for a week. She and I have run the same sort of magical circles for, well, not as long as I can remember, but close to it. Once in a century or so, I'll pop in while she's experimenting with a particularly interesting charm, and we'll share a mug of glow wine and discussion about this and that.
Glow wine?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Quite glad you brought her here, I am. When Akara's here, there's nothing more to fear. That's what she always tells me anyhow. Okay, so do we speak to Akara?
Okay.
I see Master Zigzags is quite upgraded from a shabby little hut at the edge of the hour. So from the fairy dimension to the space-time weaver hunter imp one, what do you call this place again? This is our homestead, the shelter plane at the end of time. Huh, is that so? It seems I have my share to learn about the magical world yet. The end of time, well, certainly your association with Master Zigzags makes considerably more sense. Source hunter, whisking a born sorcerer off to a private shelter plane. It's like something out of a... what the hell? Oh, jeez.
Melbini the Bard's Twisted Tales.
Yeah, no, an imp walked on my screen and I was like, what the hell's that?
Oh, okay.
It's like something, okay. But I must say, it's no small relief to find myself in a safe haven, however strange, among powerful allies. Without your courage and cunning, yeah, I wonder who's the cunning one,
Me.
I'd be powerless to us still. For that I'm eternally grateful.
Okay, you're welcome.
Tell me how and why your sister has gotten entangled in darkness. Ours was a family born of sorcerers. It was in our blood, our very being, to interact with Source. But my parents were nothing among those who were determined to curb the power that dwelled within us.
Uh-oh.
But the meekness wouldn't save them from the Source hunters. Okay, but their meekness. You mean someone of our own order killed your parents? They came on a quiet morning. Leandra and I were playing games on the cabin floor when our mother rushed in, her eyes wild with fright, and commanded me to take my sister to hide ourselves outside, among the trees. Even at that young age we knew not to question her.
Uh-oh.
We climbed high into the branches of an old tree nearby. We held each other tight, and before we could look away, watched as our parents were cut down without ceremony before our own front door. Jeez.
Oh, that's awful.
The Source hunters clapped each other on the back as they sauntered away, wiping their blades. 2 more sorcerers dead, a job well done.
Oh my gosh.
What became of Leandra and yourself? From that moment on, everything was different. As we trembled in that tree, something happened within us. Our fear, our wounded souls, and above all, our desperation were so potent that magic within us began to weave together. We couldn't have known it then, but the soul forge was sealed.
Oh, wow.
We would survive, thrive, even within those woods, never speaking to outsiders. We knew that if anyone knew our true nature, the source within us, we'd soon meet our parents' fate.
Oh, dear.
I spent my time brewing potions. Yeah, I'm sure potions is what they call it, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Drinking into the night. The legacy of the legacy of my mother and father, I crafted every manner of healing tincture, and I began work as a guardian of the Lucula forest. Many creatures. Okay. But Leandra's capacity was enormous. Each bit of magical knowledge was like a crumb to her. She was insatiable. Source didn't frighten her, and she delved into that dark well with horrible regularity. Tell me what happened between yourself and Leandra and the wizard.
Mm-hmm.
My sister and I were immersed in a solitary existence. Witches amongst the trees. When the wizard came, both of us were intrigued by his knowledge, stranger. He knew we were sorcerers, but paid that fact no mind. Leandra especially couldn't leave him be. He was a feast of information, and she wouldn't rest until she absorbed every bit of knowledge he offered. For his part, the wizard hardly seemed averse to the attention of such a sharp, enthusiastic pupil. The days were spent on charms, dragons, hexes, blessings, and relics. Sounds like interesting.
Fun.
At night, Leandra would wander off to practice what she'd learned, and the wizard and I would settle into our quiet tasks. Me working through the many tomes he'd bring, and engulfed in letters and his diaries. We were a content trio, the three of us, but base impulse would undo us.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean by base impulse? As you know, Leandra and I were soul forged. This offered us a window into one each other's psyches, and both of us were sharply aware of the feelings we developed for our pleasant guest. He was the first outsider we'd known in many years, and the thrill of his company and his goodness had fast worked his way into our hearts. Uh-oh. But it was me to whom the wizard confessed his love. Though he spent nearly every waking hour feeding Leandra's insatiable mind, it was those quiet evenings with one that had captured his heart. I, the world's finest fool, thought our odd little family would survive this development. The wizard and I prepared to tell Leandra it was the single most selfish thing I could have done. Her heart broke the moment we announced our attachment, and I felt the pain of it as sharply as a knife. She fled without a word, and I didn't see her for 2 terrible years. My connection with her, our soul forge, grew weaker. It was as though some third entity, a parasite, were atop of our souls, sucking the strength from it day by day. I wonder if the sorcerer is all that he's cracked out to be. Well, then it's true you're a sorcerer. I am, but there's much more to our kind than they teach at your academy. Source is more than a blood madness. It's like the lightning, a current of great strength and great power, rare and exquisite, deadly and destructive. We sorcerers are like metal steeples. Source is drawn to us and it flows through us. We can no more easily change that than the steeple can ask not to be struck. Okay.
Twang! Lightning bolts.
But what so many fail to understand is that source can be controlled. We sorcerers can choose how to handle the force that flows through us, and we can choose not to wield it. The power drunk through history have earned our kind a terrible reputation, and we've suffered awful consequences in kind. Consequences do you mean? You really have no idea, do you? Tell me, Source Hunter. No. In all your hours of studying the arcane arts, on your days and weeks spent learning the deadliest methods of removing heads from shoulders and hearts from chests, did you, great masters, ever suggest that perhaps not all sorcerers were evil? Did you hear, even once, that some of us were small and weak and innocent? That we were simple forest folk, healing the sick, frozen each winter? Small children, daughters perhaps, who have to hide and hold each other tight when you run their parents through? No, I don't. I doubt they would say anything about it. I doubt also that they'd mention that one day was a hunt of yours would birth a broken soul powerful enough to deal with the Winter King, to grow death knights, to inch all of Rivellon towards oblivion.
Uh-oh.
Mean to blame Leandra's doings on the Source Hunters? Sigh, no. Would
That would be going
too far, and eschewing far too much of my own responsibilities. I believe Leandra's long fall down did begin at the hands of some of your own order, but it was me, my foolish heart, and foolish wizard who sparked all of this.
Yes, guilty. By admission.
Jeez.
Shame.
What next? How do we stop Leandra? We're a single order of business first and foremost. Leandra is gathering an army, and I fear we will have to get through it if we wish to find her. I hope they're not all death knights, though. But first we must learn more about Leandra's plans. How many of these so-called immaculates does she have in her palm? Oh, smoke and stuff falling. And to what end is she directing them? Must venture into the inner sanctum of one of the sacred immaculate temples in Luca Forest. Leandra has hidden it well, but within its deepest depths you'll find a hidden library. What is inside I cannot say, but I do know something of great value to her is kept within. How can I find this inner sanctum? The Immaculates are no invention of Leandra's. The styling herself as its so-called conduit is, I must say, rather clever. They were ancient religious group, countless sorcerers among them, numbering hundreds and thousands before the death of Brachus Rex and the abolishment of Source. The Leandra's little cult has retaken this immaculate banner and repurposed the ancient immaculate temples after their own fashion. The temple you must find is particularly well hidden. You'll have to become an immaculate yourself in order to gain access to it. Have we not really been to this temple?
I think we have.
If the time comes that you must reveal yourselves as impostors, you have many an impassioned foe to face. You'll know you have reached the right temple when you meet the priest who calls himself Mangoth. That doesn't sound familiar. He protects the blood. It's he you must ultimately defeat. Okay. Discuss the mines. God's Death Knights, dreadful news. Worse than I could have expected. Death Knights are terrible signs. Source Hunter, historically, they indicate the Maker's intent to wage total war. Death Knights are impervious to attack. Perfect soldiers. We must learn all we can about Leandra's plan for the army she's building, and fortunately you seem to have found a crucial piece of the puzzle, a spell that will make the dreaded knights vulnerable to attack. Excellent work, Source Hunter. Simply excellent. Okay, let's discuss Leandra's recent operations. Childhood. Okay, I believe that your soul forge has been damaged. By what? I cannot guess. Still, the dissolution of the bond between us has left Leandra adrift in a well of sorrow and misery that she truly believes will never end. Leandra has mired deeply in certain sorrowful moments of her past, and all she needs is my hand, out of them. If our soul forge is repaired, I remain certain that she'll cease blazing this path of destruction. To discuss the miraculous church. Dreadful news, my sister's so-called conduit seems to have sunk to deception of terror to swell in numbers. This is the church where we killed Rex, I think.
Okay.
If I know Leandra, she's hidden her most valuable secrets deep within their ranks. Keep exploring, Source Hunter, your efforts will bear fruit. Let's discuss the soul forge between you and Miranda. Cannot be condone such terrible things she's done, but I can seek to understand them. The soul forge... Our soul forge in such status that believe in drift are not all unconsidered sorrows and lives. What's more, I sense terrible force bearing down upon them. It's hungry, growing by the hour. Something else, yeah. I think there's something to do with that wizard.
Okay.
But I'm certain it's both driving me out and driving Leandra on. Can you repair my forge? Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
Let's see what it says about all this stuff. False soul. Blah blah. The Forge of Souls. Cora asked us to look for a way to repair the soul forge on Leandra, okay? In our journal, Cora told us we must investigate Leandra's doings and told us where to begin. We reported to Kent of the spell we found in the mine. She'll tell us where to look next if we defeat Leandra. Okay. Cora told us we must infiltrate the Immaculates to learn more about Leandra's plan. I know exactly where this temple is now. I know.
Oh, please
I
stop
know where
showing
it is.
off. I have no freaking idea.